Job was summing that up into like 4 P's. So passion, perseverance, persistence, and people. But then he threw in money. So I'm gonna get, second language, and I'll say pesos, or penise, which is Czechoslovakian for money. So there's 5 P's there that. So, and this one's great too, and it kind of, maybe we'll close, I think this is the last question for the night. Because I'm sure there was times along the way, and you mentioned that the peaks are only as high as the valleys are low, that there was times along the way you thought, what was I doing? And, is there something else you would rather be than, an owner of a business or an entrepreneur, or, is this exactly where you should be?
I think for me, yeah, it definitely is where I want to be. Every day you think sometimes, why are we doing this? And so some days we'll have a cupcake day and we remind ourselves why we're doing this. And so we'll be like, okay, can we get some cupcakes delivered to the office, please? And I need a Crave right now because I don't know why I'm doing this, so somebody please remind me. And so for us, that it's true. I mean, I love what I do, and we always get the balance question being a woman in business, and I have a child and a husband in this business, and how do you manage it all? And you know what, you can't do everything at once, and I love what I do, and I wouldn't give it up. And my child sometimes misses me, and my husband sometimes misses me, and sometimes the business misses me, but eventually it all works out, and you have a cupcake and you remind yourself why you're doing it.
There's like a couple of cupcake plugs in there.
For me, every time I have one of those low valleys, and I've had several, I've just been like, what was I thinking when I don't trust my gut? It's always when I don't trust my gut, and then I'm like, really? But then I'll have an experience where someone will come in and they've just lost their job, or their husband has just left them, or they've just lost 100 pounds, or they just gained 100 pounds, or whatever challenge that person has. And I'm able to sit and work with them, with my staff, and say, hey, this is what I see. I see what you see, but this is what I see. I see a great pair of tits and a great waist, and we're going to work with that! Because they might have tank clothes, okay, Kelly? But we work with what we can, and you get the feeling from people, it's all true, this is my day. Now you want to be my baker.
He's like, I should have put you on that video.
But I get reminded, instead of having a cupcake day, I have this feel-good moment day where this woman or this man walks out and their shoulders are back and they know they look amazing. And then they get a compliment from a coworker, or they get a date. I get invited to tons of weddings. Okay, I've had to stop, I've just been sending gift certificates because they put me at the table with the weird people. Because they don't know where to put me. Because they discover who they are as a person, and then what happens is they put this wonderful energy out, and then, ooh, Mr. and Mrs. Fabulous arrives. And that's
coming there tomorrow.
And that's what makes my day and reminds me this is why I do. I bring it down to a level of people, because that's all we really have. We can be these corporate giants, these massive people, and print money. But the reality is that when we're lying on our deathbed, we're going to remember all of the people that we impact and all those people that were in our lives. And those are the people that we're going to remember, and those are the experiences that we're going to feel. And I'm lucky that every day I can have one of those experiences with a customer and then go forward, even when I have the lows and the highs. Because yes, it's this entrepreneurial risk thing. But my favorite definition of an entrepreneur was at the Calgary Chamber thing, when it says an entrepreneur is someone who does way more than anyone thought possible with less than anyone thought possible. Because that's exactly what we've done. That's right.
So the question, I guess, was whether we had second thoughts at some point. So my honest answer to that would be just to tell you the honest to God truth. During the last 4 years, apart from it being such a rough ride at certain times, there was a point at which I was offered a different job, one of those big public company jobs, and I thought a fair bit about it. It came from out of the blue. I wasn't looking, and I thought about it, and I took it home. And on your balance point, I have 3 kids, and they have from time to time paid the price of Dad being the entrepreneur, especially during the summer of 2013 when, because of the flood, I just shipped them out of town and said, it's probably best if you're not here watching all the stress unfold. But anyway, when the big job offer was floating around, I talked to my daughter, who I guess at the time was 10, and said, here's the deal, and told her, 10, she's grown up and she could understand it. And she said, well, that all sounds pretty good, but you know what, nobody else has a dad who goes to work at a job And although that's like, well, it's an oversimplification, but you know what she was really kind of saying in her general way was, you know, I relate to your job, I know what you're doing. At one point she came to me and said, you know, I like that you have a job because then maybe in the future I'll have a job. Maybe I can't get another job, but I could learn working with you. And that whole family feeling of working and relating to what you do and it being a part of your life, that easily overcame the public company thing. And so, second thoughts, yes, but regrets, no regrets.
I like that. So I'll close it out and then I'm going to hand it over to Scott, but I just want to thank you guys all for taking the time to be here today and share with us your insights and your journeys along the path of being successful entrepreneurs and creating brands. I think you said something beautiful. It's really, at the end of the day, it's about people, right? And you know, at TELUS we are a big, huge company, but we rely on wonderful people like yourselves that have passion and perseverance and persistence to build companies.
Pesos.
And pesos. To build companies that, you know, grow our engine at the end of the day, grow ATB's engine. So thank you for that. So I'll hand it over to Scott.